Baby oil. Baby oil. Will we never hear the end of baby oil in the courtroom? It's been pervasive today as well. Lauren Conlon?
It's getting crazy. I mean, the talk of baby oil, and I'm not even trying to be funny, the talk of baby oil got to a point where they had to have a sidebar. Thank goodness Tenny Garagos objected, because at one point, Emily Johnson, doing a great job as the prosecutor, she's questioning Cassie, and she probably questioned her for about 10 minutes about baby oil. And it got to the point where Cassie had to tell us that Sean Combs made her get into a blow-up pool of baby oil and Astroglide with all of her clothes on. And then we had to hear about how many bottles of baby oil they went through during a freak-off, which, by the way, was 10. And she described they were the big size bottles. I mean, there's so much more. I didn't bring my notepad out, but I mean, a lot of us are wondering, what does this have to do with anything? Are they just trying to corroborate the freak-offs when other witnesses come on the stand and talk about this baby oil and Astroglide? It's really, really strange. But I'm wondering when we are going to hear more about his criminal enterprise, about the sex trafficking, the transportation across state lines, because right now, Cassie is giving really, really tragic testimony, and I feel awful for her. This is horrible. But it definitely is. It's seeming to me so far, it's just seeming like it is a lot of domestic violence, a lot of assault and awfulness. I mean, he treated her horribly, horribly, horribly. He's a vile man. I'm just trying to figure out when we're going to start really getting into these charges. I mean, right now I'm in the overflow room, and people in the overflow room are kind of like, what's going on? What are we listening to? And yeah, I mean, at another point, she asked Cassie, why did you continue to participate in these freak-offs, or why did you say yes to a freak-off? And Cassie actually, under her breath, was like, good question. But she broke down crying on the stand, and it was awful. It was so awful. She, she just talked about how much she loved Sean Combs and how, she did these freak-offs so she could be with him. And that is just really sad.
Well, I appreciate your perspective, but let's go to trial lawyer Nima Rahmani, joining us out of LA, former federal prosecutor turned trial lawyer, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, and author of Harvard to Hashtag. Nima, what a layperson sees, they don't understand necessarily that what is happening right now is proving sex trafficking and RICO. Normally, we see which are the most serious charges that Combs is facing. RICO, which is racketeering, we normally see that applied to the mob, right? Criminal enterprise, like they have a vast criminal enterprise involving stolen goods, prostitution, counterfeit, money laundering, even murder. And there are many, I mean, we've all seen Sopranos, right? That was a criminal enterprise where more than one person, multiple people work to advance, let's just pretend, Tony Soprano's criminal enterprise, right? He was the boss. It was his enterprise, and all those people worked for him. So what we're hearing, I know we've said it a million times, baby oil, really? Baby oil to be used in an illegal act, which is flying in escorts, male and female, from other cities, buzzword, flying, interstate commerce, using text, using online to find the escorts, wired transmission. See where I'm going with this? Who went to get the baby oil? Who paid for it? Who paid the sex workers? Who set up the scene for illegal freak-offs? All of that equals prostitution, equals moving people across state lines for purposes of prostitution. That is a criminal enterprise. That's the point. The jury may not be getting it yet, but when Emily Johnson explains what the law is and says, this is transporting across state lines. This person worked for Sean Combs. This person paid the sex workers. This person bought the baby oil. I mean, what? Did Sean Combs get a blow-up pool himself and blow it up and pour in heated baby oil? Hellno. He paid somebody to do that. Hence, criminal enterprise. You explain it.
Nancy, you're absolutely right. And as prosecutors, former prosecutors, we know these are the elements of the crime. Let's just go through them. Sex trafficking, you need that force, fraud, or coercion. The force, right? Beating Cassie, throwing her against the bed, that gash. We're going to have independent witnesses, the plastic surgeon, members of his security team that are going to testify to that. The coercion.
Let me see him.
Giving Cassie drugs.
I just heard you say plastic surgeon. What?
The plastic surgeon that Cassie went to see to fix the gash in her eye. There's going to be medical records, Nancy. Independent evidence to support her allegations. That's what you want if you're the government. Let's talk about the coercion.
But when you hear Lauren Collin talking, Nima Rahmani, when you hear her talking, she's like, I'm sick of baby oil. We're all looking at each other thinking, when are we really going to hear the evidence about sex trafficking? You are hearing it right now. Break it down, Nima.
This is it. This is sex trafficking. You give someone drugs so much that they throw up and they're forced to perform sex over a matter of days, sometimes up to 4 days. That is coercion, Lauren. And I love Lauren. You in someone's mouth, that is coercion. You force someone to have sex on her period when she's bleeding all over the bedsheet. That is coercion. It's not just about the baby oil. It's not just about the vomit. It's not just about the blood. No human being could consent to this. The defense's argument is consent. This is what the government is proving. And like you said,
but wait a minute. Nima Rahmani, when you say, and I don't want to go too DEFCON 4 on the law here, but when you say sex with Cassie Ventura without her consent, but I'm not proving a case right now. I'm talking about the state proving RICO, a criminal conspiracy, a criminal enterprise. And what the jury is hearing right now, as a matter of fact, Sydney Sumner, it's so upsetting what they're seeing, these videos, that they've had to put up privacy monitors in the last hours in court, so everybody doesn't see the videos that the jury is seeing. Isn't that true, Sydney?
That is true, Nancy. We expect the prosecutors to play some of these freak-off tapes for the jury in the next hours. They already tried to play them, but there were some technical difficulties, so they decided to try and work on those and continue with a different line of questioning. So those videos are going to come up in court very, very soon. We see that reporters are scrambling to actually get a seat in the courtroom instead of the overflow room so they can watch the jury as these videos are played.
When, if ever, was the last time you checked your home's title? Well, if you're like me, the answer is never. So stop what you're doing and make sure your title is still in your name immediately. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, use promo code Nancy. You also get a free title history report plus a free 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. Free. That's 24/7 title monitoring, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud should happen, they spend up to $1 million to fix it. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Use promo code Nancy. The gall are trying to use the Bible, the Holy Bible, as a prop.
There was only one God in Diddy's world, and that was Diddy.
Even Satan quoted scripture in the Bible, and at the end of the day, he was still the devil.
Cassie Ventura still on the witness stand at the end of the day. The testimony and video so upsetting that privacy monitors have been put up to shield cameras and journalists, everyone out in the audience, from seeing what the jury is seeing. Okay, joining me at the courthouse is Lauren Conlon, also with us on the trial from the get-go, Sydney Sumner. Nima, what I'm trying to tell you is that while Lauren Conlon points out that everybody in the overflow room, all the journalists are saying, well, when are we going to be done with baby oil? When are we going to talk about sex trafficking? We're talking about sex trafficking right now. Cassie Ventura doesn't have to say people were sex trafficked. There was a conspiracy. This is a RICO case. We don't expect that. We expect the prosecutor to take the evidence from the witness stand, explain the law to the jury, and explain why what they're hearing, if they believe Cassie Ventura, equals sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Okay, listen to this.
Cassie says Combs wanted her glistening at all times and had her reapply heated baby oil as often as every 5 minutes, and during one performance even made her get into a kiddie pool of baby oil. Afterwards, staff members were charged with cleaning up, but with baby oil and bodily fluids all over the floors, walls, and door handles, Combs was frequently charged for damages to hotel rooms, negotiations handled by Combs' assistants.
Okay, I want to fight with Nima Rahmani right now about sex trafficking, but I can't ignore that.